Hi there. The Australian curriculum has been written in single year levels, foundation, year 1, year 2, and throughout the country that structure varies from state to state. And there is therefore a degree of concern about the interact units that they are written for a 2-year level. And there's therefore a concern about whether all of the content descriptions of the Australian curriculum are going to be covered over the scope and sequence of the units. The first thing that needs to be made really clear is that there was never an intention from ACARA's perspective that all schools in Australia move to single level classes. That's from the horse's mouth in conversations with the general manager. That was never an expectation. It is fully acceptable that schools will continue to have composite classes and that individual level classes will exist in there as well. So the intention is that over the 2 years of a composite class, that all of the content descriptions for each of the learning areas would be addressed. Now, the actual knowledge and understanding elements of the standards, and I've got that page open from the Unit Hero site at the moment that you're looking at, the knowledge side of it varies from year to year. Certainly the year 1 content descriptions are different to those of the year 2. And over the 2 years of the interact scope and sequence, delivery of the units will ensure that all of those content descriptions are met. Whether they are met while a student is in a year 1 class, followed by a year 2 class, or whether they are 2 years in a 1-2 composite, all of those content descriptions will be met. It's then worthwhile looking at the historical skills, which is the same for science, etc. The skills element of the Australian curriculum is exactly the same for years 1 and 2. It is a 2-year scope and sequence. And so over the 2 years, you are expected to expose your students to all of those skills. That's a really important thing to see. The other area, of course, is the general capabilities. And the general capabilities, which are now scoped across years, the general capabilities are also in 2-year sections, so that over the 2 years, each of the elements of the general capabilities are intended to be met. The interact units guarantee to meet each of those elements of the general capabilities, all of the skills associated with learning areas, and each of the content descriptions in the knowledge over those 2 years. They are more integrated. They won't necessarily be a solid history unit or a solid geography unit where that's all you see, because that's actually not the way our students learn. So the units will have elements of history, elements of geography, elements of economics in them, and the content descriptions will be matched there. In this real life learning way, Interact meets all of those requirements over the 2 years. Thanks. See ya.